Welcome to Stock Produce channel today. If you're new to our channel, we encourage you to subscribe so that you don't miss out of our future trend. It's only on this channel that you receive updates on latest stock market trends, what's happening in the stock market, what's happening in the crypto, the stocks that are performing, and the stocks that are going on the buy and on the sell. In a couple of days, we've noticed an abnormal negative surge in the global stock markets, and it's been giving a lot of concern. And when I open some of these apps and indices or platforms, you see a whole lot of things happening. You see the Dow Jones going on the red. You see the S&P 500 going on the red. You see the Nasdaq going on the red. You see the small cap 12,000 going on the red. You see a whole lot, the DAX, the FTSE going on the red. You see the CAC 40 going on the red. See the Euro stock going on the red. What's really happening? What's really happening? Are we really in a recession? What's really happening? You see the IBEX 35, almost all the stocks globally going on the red. Almost all the stocks globally going on the red. The Nikkei 225 still on the red. The China A50 going on the red. The Kospi, the Nifty, the SETs, all of them going on the red. And if we're to just take a detailed look, let's just take a detailed look at the Dow Jones. You look at the Dow Jones, you see it's going on the red. You see, in the last one day, it's been going down. It has lost 0.65% value. Though in the day range, you see the points dropping drastically. So even when you look at the week change, that's the weekly chart, you see a whole lot of changes happening. From the daily cap to the weekly cap. A whole lot of changes taking place in the economic sector. So it's really giving a lot of persons concerns. Really giving a lot of persons concern. So are we in a recession? Are we planning to be in a recession? So it's something that gives a lot of persons concern. When you go to the Dow Jones and you check the daily charts, you check the weekly charts, you see even in the weekly chart it's going down. You see even in the monthly chart it's going down. It's only in the yearly chart that you see some level of rising. When you see the 5-year chart, it looks like it's rising. But when you look at the monthly chart, you see it's going down. You look at the weekly chart, you see it's going down. You look at the daily chart, it's going down. And then you look at the S&P. Look at the S&P. You see in the S&P it's going down. That's the daily charts. The weekly chart, you see that S&P is also, we just looked at the daily on, we see the weekly on, it's also going down. The monthly on, it's also going down. What's really happening? Are we in a recession? And let's look at the Nasdaq? Look at the Nasdaq. You see it's going down monthly, weekly, daily, it's going down. And then let's move a little bit to FTSE 100. You see it's going down so sharply at this point. That's the daily chart. Weekly chart, you see it's going down. Monthly chart, it's only in the monthly chart you see that it appears it was really on a bullish note. Let's look at the CAC 40. Let's look at the CSE 40. You see the CSE 40, the monthly on shows it was going down. The weekly chart shows it's going down, but it looks like it wants to go up. The daily chart shows that it actually went down, but it's trying to recover. So when you look globally, you see a whole lot of things happening in the global stock market. Even when you come to Africa, that's South Africa, you see it's still going down. The daily charts, the weekly charts, and even the monthly charts. The monthly chart appears like it's going on a bull, but the weekly and the daily shows it's on a red. So going to the Chinese stock, the Shanghai, you see it's also on the red. So what's really happening? What's really happening? What's really happening? Are we really in a recession? At some point I was like, have things like this happened in the past? And I realized that in 1929 we had the Wall Street crash. That's the Wall Street crash of 1929. This crash, it's also a lot of persons also refer to it as the Great Depression. It was considered as one of the of as it is still considered as one of the worst in the history. Stock, yeah, it's still considered as one of the worst in the history as stock prices plummet, leading to a long and severe economic downturn. It also happened in 1987, and that's called, a lot of persons call it the Black Monday. Black Monday. That's 1987. And if you're familiar with history, realize that this single day crash saw that the Dow Jones industry fell by over 22%, the largest one day percent decline ever recorded. While this market it recovered relatively quickly. It highlighted the vulnerability of stocks. So we realize that sometimes stock could could change. It could go on a bullish note. It could go on a bullish note. So there's another one that took place in 1999, between 1999 to 2000. And that was considered as the dot-com bubble bust, the dot-com bubble bust. And some persons feel it was fueled by speculation on internet communities that stock price, sold before crashing dramatically. This crashed, to some persons it had a significant impact on technology stock. It happened, this stock, the crash happened, it affected more of this technology stock. And then we also have another one that took place in 2008, financial crisis of 2008, where there was a collapse of the housing market and a subsequent financial crisis, which led to a global recession. So you see, even currently, there are still some issues too with the housing market. Some issues too, we've had some persons talk about the housing market, and it's not really easy. A lot of things are going on. The house market crash, the housing market appears to also be crashing. And funny enough, too, let's just dive into the crypto, the world of the crypto aspect. I'm just looking at the Binance. I'm using the Binance app to just look at the crypto world. And when you look at the crypto world, you realize that a lot of the coins, a lot of the digital coins are going on the red. BNB going on the red, BTC going on the red, Ethereum going on the red, ESO, DOL, PP coin, so many of these currencies, Shiba going on the red. So many of these coins are going on the red. So you realize that it's not just about the stock market. The stock market prices, they have their own side of the experience. But when you look at also the digital coins, the coins are also going on the rate. So it's a lot of things are happening. A lot of things are happening. So at some point, one may think, what's really happening? What's really happening? what's really happening in the market, what's really happening in the market. Are we going through, but here are some things I may just want to know. When things like this happen, it could be an indication of economic recession. It could be, an economic recession. It has to do with the severe economic downturn, which can lead to a decline in corporate profits and investors' confidence, causing stock prices to fall. When investors, lose confidence in the market, things like this could happen. And when there's a crisis in the banking sector, we see a lot of things happening, people losing confidence and systems failing, and investors could choose to sell their stock. And some other things could be issues related to geopolitical events. When there are issues like wars, like, having the Russian war, having the Israeli war, things are really happening. And these things could also have their negative effect on the stocks. It could have their own negative effect on the stocks. Some war, terrorist attacks, and other geopolitical events. It could have a severe effect. Where you have a lot of uncertainty and a risk aversion, leading to investors selling their stocks, and bubbles too could also account for things like this. If stock price become inflated due to speculation rather than looking at underlying fundamentals, there could be a crash. A crash can occur when the bubbles burst, and also issues like maybe pandemic, major pandemic can disrupt businesses and economies, leading to a decline in stock. So all these things could really, really affect stock prices, and it's also good we get to know. But apart from that too, at some point, I am an advocate of optimism. So when we observe things like this happening, you see stock going down, you see things not working the way they are expected to work. What are we really supposed to do? Should we throw in the towel? Should we feel like we are not going to, we shouldn't advance? What really should we do? What really should we do when we see things like this happening? Here are some of my tips, some of the things that I feel could help. First, it's good for us to stay calm. Don't panic in the midst of the pandemic. Don't panic in the midst of the challenges. Don't panic in the midst of the crash. As long as you are not crashed, you could recover. It's your money that possibly had crashed. It's the stock that has crashed. It's not you that has crashed. So you must separate the business from your person. Don't crash with the business. Don't crash with the stock. Don't crash with whatever is happening. Whatever is happening is momentary, and whatever is happening, this is not the first time it has happened. It has happened before, and the stock market has recovered. So the recovery process has taken place several times in the past. So one of the things we need to understand, it's a journey. It's not a destination. We need to stay calm. Don't panic. Don't make rash decisions. Don't start selling off things. Sometimes at points like this, it may be the best time to buy. It may be the best time to buy, because I know a lot of people will want to sell things, sell their houses to survive. This may be the best time to buy. So look at how you can build capacity to buy. Look at how you can build capacity to manage the circle, the challenges. So stay calm first. Then the next thing is reassess your portfolio. Reassess your portfolio. Review your asset allocation and your risk tolerance. So you need to sit down and evaluate your risk. Sit down, evaluate your risk, evaluate your tolerance limits, and consider if you need to make adjustment in your holdings to better align with your goals. So you need to reassess your portfolio. Reassess your portfolio. Are there some you need to buy or sell to buy others? So you need to look at that. Then don't time the market. Don't time the market. Trying to predict the exact bottom of the market is nearly impossible. You understand? So sticking to your long-term investment plan is usually better. So it's good. And another thing I feel would be helpful is try to see if there are ways you could diversify. Spread your investment across different asset class, stocks, bonds, real estate, and so on. Reduce your risk. Reduce your risk. Have some kind of emergency funding. have some kind of emergency funding. Having a safety net of cash savings can help you weather the storms. It can help you weather the market downturn without having need to sell all your investment at a loss. So it's good you focus on the long term. It's going to help. When you focus on the long term, it's going to help. So invest for long term and avoid making investment decisions based on short term market fluctuation. So you need to consider professional advice. Sometimes you need to pay a financial advisor. Here the information we give is purely for information sake. It's not a financial advice. So you could do your own research, or as well consult a financial advisor so that you could have a personalized investment plan and navigate through the market volatility. It's very, very important you understand what to do. It's very, very important you understand what to do. It's very, very important you understand what to do and how you cope with the market fluctuation. It's very, very important you understand what you need to do. It's very, very important. It's very, very important to understand what to do and how you cope with the market fluctuations. So whatever has happened here, the rate, the whatever you're seeing here, it's a momentary thing. It's going to pass on. So don't crash with the stock market, okay? Don't crash with the stock market. Seek personalized advice. And I'm very optimistic that whatever is happening in the digital economy, that's in the coin economy, uh, it's gonna pass. Okay, it's gonna pass. So don't allow whatever has happened to be a pain to you. So keep calm. So that's all we have. If you have if there are comments, if there are concerns that you want to share with us, hit the comment button. Let's continue discussion. How do you feel? How are you coping? How are you coping with the stock market crash? How are you coping? You can share your comments. You can as well like and share our video so that others can get to learn more. Remember, Stock Produce, we provide updates on latest market trends and stocks to look out for. Hope you've had a nice time watching and listening to us. That's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for watching.